Hello Hanover veterans. Ben Quell, your Veteran Service Officer, broadcasting from the foxhole here. Today I want to go over a single topic that I think is important and growing. As we get through the pandemic here, we continue to recognize that our most exposed population are the elderly. And certainly that incorporates includes a lot of veterans. But on my job here, what I oftentimes run into is I'm not just dealing with elderly veterans. Oftentimes I'm dealing with an elderly spouse. Obviously, home is where the heart is. That's where people want to be. And most seniors would like to avoid ever having to leave their home for a long-term basis or permanent basis. Not to mention the fact of massive cost that can be involved with receiving geriatric elder care outside of the home. And so, as our largest population of veterans, that being the baby boomers, the Vietnam veterans, right now they're just at retirement age, okay? But, in short 10, 15 years from now, that will change and they'll become a large population of elderly veterans. And so oftentimes I start to spend a lot of time on the phone talking to the spouses of these veterans that they themselves have started to have their own problems. They're elderly as well. And to try to take care of their veteran spouse has become difficult, burdensome, even impossible. Okay, and some of these veterans, their mobility has really gone down. They're starting to become more housebound. So when it comes to the VA, what a lot of folks don't know is that there are tremendous services that are available to both the veterans, their spouse, or whoever is caring for this veteran within the home. And there's a lot of services and aid that could be brought into the home to alleviate the need of bringing the veteran out for healthcare needs and evaluations. Not to mention the fact that not all of the services needed within the home are healthcare related. Some are just daily living related. We call these ADLs, active daily livings. And these veterans start to lose these ADLs, and it becomes more and more important for not just healthcare to go into the home, but some sort of aid to help with these active activities, if you will. So the VA does have an entire geriatrics department, okay, and anybody can go onto the website. You can go to www.va.gov/geriatrics. And there's a lot of information there about how the VA can help take care of elderly veterans. To start off, though, you realize that I'm talking about the VA healthcare system. There is a large percentage of veterans in every town do not use the VA healthcare system, and they are certainly not required to. But it is available to them as long as they are honorably discharged, and they have a DD-214 to show it. And my office can assist Hanover veterans with that if necessary. And certainly there are plenty of veterans who they sort of pick and choose what kind of care they want to get through the VA, and then the rest of it they get in the private sector, and that's fine. You can always mix and match how you want to receive your health care within the VA. I have veterans who just want to get their eyeglasses or their hearing aids, or sometimes they just want to get their medications through the VA, but they'd rather stick with their private care, and that's fine. But as they become more elderly and even housebound, they may find that the cost of bringing services and healthcare into that home using private can be very expensive as opposed to the VA, especially if you're talking about a veteran that has a service connection disability rating. It can be just 10% or greater. It could alleviate all the costs of bringing this care into the home by way of the VA. The other requirement, though, is that the veteran has to be a current patient within the VA system. Now, that's not as much as you think. It simply means that the primary care physician assigned to that veteran has to have one evaluation every 2 years, I believe. It's every 24 months. Some evaluation of their health care by a primary care physician would keep them as an active current patient within the VA system. Okay, once that is in place, then they are eligible for these services. If you are not currently a veteran, if you're a veteran who is not currently an active patient within the VA healthcare system, you can get that way, and I can help you with that. We even have housebound veterans that could not get from their home to the VA to get an initial evaluation. That's okay. They actually have on-site evaluation available to then get that veteran current within the VA healthcare system, which would then make them eligible for more of the benefits like the ones we're going to talk about today. Okay. Now, in order to know what services an elderly veteran or a housebound veteran, let's say, would need, you have to go through sort of a self-evaluation. And oftentimes I encourage the spouses to get involved with this, or a family member, next of kin, maybe son, daughter, or you can even have the VA go out there. They'll actually send somebody, the social worker, and to let you know, every single primary care physician within the VA healthcare system has social workers assigned to them. So when it's determined that these types of services are needed by a physician, a primary care physician, they then get their social worker involved, which will help work with the family to get these services that the veteran requires. Okay, and that includes evaluations and health care within the home. All right. So the first thing you need to consider is what does the veteran need help with when it comes to things like bathing, dressing, eating, doing chores, fixing small meals. Are they getting their blood pressure checked? Does it need to be checked? Are they diabetic? Are there mental health concerns? So these things first need to be evaluated as to what's really ailing the veteran and what they're able to do. Then you have to ask yourself, well, who is helping the veteran? Is that person able to continue to help the veteran? Are they providing the proper care? They may want to, they're just not able to. So is it a family member? Is it a friend? Is it a spouse? Is it a paid caregiver? The next thing you want to ask yourself is, where does the veteran want to live? And that's a big question. Okay, does the veteran want to remain in their home? How important is that to them? Are they open to living in a different environment, such as a veteran home or assisted living, if they're even able to afford such care? Okay. The next thing is you want to then explore the options that are available in the VA for these individuals, okay? Such as if it's the determination that the veteran should and wants to stay within the home. Well, then there's all kinds of things that the VA is involved in. They have adult daycare, okay? Maybe the veteran just needs to get out of the house, okay, in a safe environment. They need to be transported from door to door to some sort of adult daycare center. Not only could this be very beneficial to the veteran, but it can also be very beneficial to whoever's taking care of them, like the spouse. They just need a break, okay? This could, and I have situations like this where that's kind of the purpose of doing it, is just to give the spouse the ability to go shopping or just to have a quiet day in the house and not have to be directly taking care of the veteran. Because in these adult daycare centers, they do. They don't just bring them there, they look after them. They have activities, and they also have skilled care available to them there. They may need home-based primary care, where either a physician or a nurse comes to the home to do the evaluation, to do the consultation, things that they're just not able to get on site to a VA facility for anymore. Things like hospice care, palliative care, respite care, skilled home care, remote monitoring. Maybe they need a device in the home like an iPad, just so they can work with like the Video Connect that's within the VA. They just need somebody to go in there and get them set up that way. So there's a lot of things that can be done inside the home by way of the VA. And yes, there are residential settings. If the home is no longer the place for the veterans, there are homes. There is assisted living within the VA, but even those who decide they want to go private assisted living, they may need help finding it or even paying for it. So there's programs like aid and attendance that can help pay for that. And of course, there are nursing homes. There's community living centers within the VA. There's state veteran homes and things of that nature. That's what in fact the veteran needs. So then you really need to make sure that you are involving other people when it comes to this long-term type care. Okay, we've already talked about the spouses and family and friends, but again, I encourage again the social workers within the VA that know all about these different options that can help set them up what they need. It may also not just be physical; it might be mental health as well. Okay, dementia, Alzheimer's, these are serious and these are real. So there's mental health that needs to be brought into the home sometimes. Skilled nursing care needs to come in. So we've talked about those things. So once it's determined what is needed, then these things can be provided. At that point, they take action, okay? And a healthcare team within the VA will start bringing these services into the home, okay? Let me talk to you specifically about a program. It's called the Homemaker and Home Health Aid Care. So we're sort of moving away from healthcare and we're moving more towards those active daily livings. Okay, so they have a program set up within the VA that they have organizations, local organizations that are on contract with the VA, and they will send these individuals in. Now these are not nurses, okay, that come into the home, but they are supervised by a nurse in what's going on. And these are skilled services. These are individuals that come into the home to help the veteran with bathing or dressing or fixing meals. Things that have become very burdensome both for the veteran or for whoever's trying to take care of them. And again, these home health aides, they work for an organization that is contracted by the VA. So who's eligible for it? Well, again, I've kind of talked to you about who these veterans are. They need to be current patients within the VA. They have to be, honorably discharged, and they need to have been evaluated within the last couple of years by a primary care physician who can then, if necessary, assign them to a social worker that will help get them the services that they need. And again, the services we're talking about here are those ADLs, those active daily livings, the eating, the getting dressed, personal grooming, bathing, using the bathroom, moving from place to place or getting to appointments. My office provides transportation to Hanover veterans anywhere in the Commonwealth they need to go. But that's just getting them to, say, doctor's appointments or to the pharmacy or even to the shopping centers. But it's inside the home we're talking about here, and that's something that I'm very limited to, but the VA healthcare system is not. So if you are a veteran that's already receiving care at the VA, and either you and your spouse have determined that you might need these things, simply contact your primary care office, ask to be connected to their social worker, and they will then start working with you right over the phone. All right. If you're not a current VA patient, but you are a veteran and you qualify for VA health care, then you simply just need to call the customer service at any VA facility that's near you and and over the phone you can start getting connected with VA care. They will probably try to assign you, they'll assign you to a primary care physician for an initial evaluation. If you are unable to get, if you're like a housebound veteran, then you let them know that and they can actually send a physician on site to do the initial evaluation. I know this is a lot I'm throwing at you, but trust me, it can be very, very beneficial, especially to our elderly veterans and their spouses or whoever's trying to take care of them, their children. Any questions, contact my office here at the Council on Aging, 781-826-5000, extension 1107, and I can help get you started on this. As always, stay safe, stay well.